Welcome to Indoor Outdoor episode 10. Welcome to Indoor Outdoor Heaps Chilled, actually. Episode 10. With King Ivy.
Hey.
And my man Gus. And how's it going? I haven't podcasted in a couple of weeks, so.
You a bit rusty?
Rolling back in. Wouldn't say rusty. It's like, I'm still the GOAT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes you got to just, even MJ had a bit of time off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
that's very true.
Yeah, how's it going?
Yeah, it's going really good.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I met you once before at Jack and Claire's party.
Totally.
And then I heard your song with Claire.
Yeah.
And I was just like, sick, we'll get you in. And then I hit you up and then you're sacked and here we are.
Sick. No,
And your
thank you
song's
for
gone
asking.
really well and a lot of exciting things are happening for you.
Totally.
So I think it'd be exciting to talk to you about that and talk to you about your process and how like you've done so much with only like 3 songs that I could find.
Mm-hmm.
And like, man, I've put out 3 songs in the last month, you know what I mean? And like, that's crazy that you're like so elusive and your music's just like captured people's imaginations like that. Like that's really special. And
sick.
I want to talk to special people. So it's good to have you on.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for asking me to come. No, I'm psyched.
So first question I wanted to ask is We Can Get It? Yeah. Is that, it sounds like you're like, guys, are you singing about it somebody or something, or did you just those melodies came to you and those words came to you, or was it an emotional song? How did you conjure up those feelings and those lyrics and stuff like that?
I guess like Romarin and I wrote the song together, and it was
Romarin.
Yeah.
Romarin, yeah.
That's it.
Cool name.
And
Cool name.
yeah, it's a sick name. And it was like the longest writing process ever, but we both it was really collaborative, like in the sense that it was pretty even in terms of like writing melodies and writing lyrics, blah, blah, blah. We definitely,
That's dope.
yeah, no, it was cool.
Did you write it in Joe Luck there?
A bit of both. Like, Claire and I both, wrote away from the studio a little bit and also wrote in the studio together. Like that chorus, like was just spur of the moment kind of thing. But then again, I also like changed things like 3 billion times. It's kind of like hard to tell.
Yeah, fully.
And there's just so many bits that didn't make it and that kind of thing, which is like kind of sad, and it'd be cool to like do more versions of it one day if I don't hate it by then.
What?
Yeah, it's like so real.
I was just thinking then while you were saying that was like the reason that you've maybe only put out 3 songs and they've done so well and people are liking them is because maybe that is part of your process is working on the songs like a lot.
Yeah.
So like I know songs that I've gone back on even when people are like, no, they're done, that's good. And I'm like, nah. Like sometimes you can ruin a song, you know what I mean? By working on it too much or whatever, but a lot of time it becomes better. So is that something that you have done with that song and with your other songs?
For sure. Yeah. I mean, We Can Get It was definitely the longest, but I'm totally a sucker for like overanalyzing and all that kind of thing. Like,
so it was the longest. How long like was the process?
We Can Get It was probably about a year.
Whoa.
Which is gross.
No, that's dope.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's dope.
I mean,
That's crazy.
yeah. It's like,
There is a lot of layers and levels to it and different keys and mixing stuff. It's crazy.
for sure. Yeah. And, if it's any consolation, like that song did the best out of all 3.
Yeah.
And it's like I spend the most time on it. So like I would have been pretty bummed if no one liked it.
Yeah,
if I'm being honest, like not that I'm the kind of person that like, needs everyone to love it to be proud of it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like would be proud of it anyway.
Yeah.
But man, it was like a good feeling just for people to be like, yeah, this is cool. I'm so glad you worked so long on this.
Fully. And like it's one of those things like the more you like put into something, like put that force into the universe in it and just like expel energy into it and stuff, then that's the more that you like get out of it, the universe gives you out of it, because like I've been trying to have this theory at the moment, like with like putting out music, like I've been putting out quite a bit of music and I'm just like, man, like instead of tripping on whatever, like people don't like this, people don't like that, I'm like, I'm just going to drop another song, and like if people like the music, then they like the music and then good things will come or whatever. But I'm not going to stress out about like the reception of it, like you said. So like what I'm saying is to get like such a good reception must be such a good feeling, because that's kind of what you've done. You know, you've just gone off like, oh man, I'm going to work on this song for a year. I'm going to make it as good as I can. And then you put it out to the world, and it's just the truth of like, there is labels and there's marketing and there's all this, but it's like, if people don't like your song, then people don't like your song, but people like your song, so it's dope.
Yeah, I'm sure it's like simple as that.
Yeah,
pretty
it's
much.
just as simple as that. It's complicated. It's not complicated.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, I listened to this thing. I don't know. I've just been listening to that weird shit and reading weird books and
that's
shit.
cool.
But I listened to this Alan Watts speech yesterday.
Yeah.
And he was talking about like desire and shit like that, and like how like people desire not to have a desire, like they. You know, because like it, you know, even for me, like I'm like, man, I want to play big shows. I want to do all this shit so bad. It like hurts. It's like this in me that like want to make more music. I want to work harder and shit. But then it's like, it's kind of nice to not want to desire anything and just be content and be happy. But then it's like the crazy thing is like even to desire something is a desire. Even not to desire something is a desire. So you got to just be like, you know, like, you can just get so deep with that shit. It's just crazy.
For sure, yeah.
I don't even know how I got there. I just smoked some weed before.
No, man.
Yeah.
We get deep straight away.
Yeah,
like, only like 10 minutes in, we're already getting like philosophical.
Yeah, word.
It's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I know what you mean. It's like one of those things of like being eternally unsatisfied with like your work.
Yeah.
I think you just, you know, need to keep it so simple.
Yeah.
In a sense, like sometimes just don't even let your mind go there and just be like, I just want to do some cool stuff and be happy about it, and then like go to sleep, you know? And yeah, and
true.
it's
Go to sleep, wake up, drink a coffee.
Yeah.
Or a tea.
I don't really fuck with tea even, dude.
Or just some water.
Water and juices.
Yeah.
You don't.
He doesn't drink coffee.
Is it the caffeine
I don't have
or
anything. Yeah, I get to. I'm just.
Yeah,
I'm
He's
energied up.
He's energy lording.
No, I like totally respect that. I've had so like it's not even a big deal, but like I've had so many instances of trying to like give up caffeine.
Yeah.
And even though like I think I'm kind of an energetic person, I just like can't not have it. It's so good. So I really respect you being able to go
It's
without
a
it.
lit stays.
Yeah.
You're the man.
When I was younger, like, because my dad would just have maybe like a short black when he'd go to work just to like boom in the morning, but he'd never like get like, you know, like a latte or like he's like, no way, like it's in me to get me going sort of thing. And then like when I was I just didn't really like the taste when I was like heaps young, and like no one does when they're like 10 and stuff, you know, you're like, well, this is gross.
Yeah.
And then I was like, when I was getting older, I kind of didn't like it heaps, and I was like, why does everyone drink it, mum? And she's like, it's a drug, like it's the same as cigarettes, it's the same as all that stuff. But like, and I don't want to put that on people to be like, you know, like you're addicted to something. But then like I was kind of like, well, true, you kind of like,
No,
I was
it
like,
is.
It's true.
Yeah.
it's literally that. It's kind of like, it's just because it's legal and you can get it. But then when you really think about it, it's like a lot of my friends, like they like literally can't start their, like they will fail work for the day if they don't have a coffee. Like they will be down in the dumps like all day. So
It's crazy, hey.
I've definitely been at that level before, and I definitely drink coffees when we're having studio sessions sometimes, a little bit too much, but maybe that's because I smoked some weed. I'm like, man, I need to balance it out.
Yeah.
But I've gone to a good place now with coffee. I just have one in the morning, and then I don't have another one. But like early, like 7 o'clock in the morning or something. But even sometimes I bar it. But the thing is, man, like people don't think they're like, you like how I'm like, I just like coffee, like I just like the taste of coffee and shit, and like people smoking ciggies, I don't smoke ciggies. I'm like, dude, you should not smoke ciggies, and they're like, but I just like it, man. So like I guess coffee would be the same way, you know what I mean? But
exactly,
it is fucking delicious.
And like I always think when I get too caught up in trying to give up caffeine, I'm like, I could be doing so much worse, you know?
yeah, exactly.
Than coffee.
True.
Yeah.
Something I've been conscious of trying to not do is like compare myself to the lowest common denominator. So in like an instance where like you're like, at least I'm not as bad as this person who does this, you're like, yeah, of course, like why would I compare myself to this person who does this? I'm at this thing, you know what I mean?
For sure. It's like comparing yourself to like people above you, I suppose. I don't like saying people above you, but
or just like habits or like
someone who's
lifestyle patterns or
reached a higher goal that you would like to achieve or something.
Yeah.
You kind of be like, but it's like there's a lot of factors that come into play.
for sure, yeah.
So I want to get back onto your music and stuff like that.
Totally.
I was and I went out the other night. I went to Dex's launch with you were there, and Dossie killed it, and people were coming up to me and saying, oh, we love the podcast and shit, so I just want to say, if you're watching this and you're frothing, thank you for watching it. I don't have any ads or anything, so my ads are to the frothers.
Yeah.
Keep frothing. Your music, like how you have a really nice voice. When did you start singing? And I know you do the production as well, don't you?
I do it with Hacks at Joy Luck. Yeah.
So
he has a big hand in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when did you start singing, and when did you think like, oh, I want to like put out tracks and maybe potentially be a professional musician?
Yeah. Pretty young. Like I knew I wanted to be in music. I started off in dance, and I was like a trained ballet dancer for like 8 years.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, it's like so random because now I'm just like lol.
Yeah.
But
that's cool. My little brother did ballet. One of my little brothers.
Oh, sick.
Trav. Yeah.
For how long?
I think like a couple years, maybe a year and a half or something, maybe when he was like 13 or 14. He's fucking tough as well. Like he's just like a tough dude. And he did ballet when he was a kid. It's pretty lit.
I love that. Yeah. I used to always feel like much respect to like the boys in my class.
Yeah.
Because like, obviously they probably get bagged out.
Yeah.
So,
But then you're just like, dude, I'm hanging with all the girls. Like,
yeah.
Everyone's nice to me. We're just like chilling.
That's it.
Not getting tackled and shit.
Yeah, like yeah. That's it. And so that was kind of like my main career objective or whatever when I was young, I suppose. And I was pretty like hectic about it as well. That was from the age of like maybe like 9 to like 15, 16 or something. And then I changed schools and moved out of home when I was 16.
Whoa, that's real early to move out of home, eh?
Yeah.
Especially for down here, like where we're from. I don't know if you know, but I'm from Byron Bay, Lennox Head. I don't know if you even know where that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so's Gus. He's from Lennox Head.
Sick.
And it's just like, I never really realised it. I'm getting off topic, but
I
never really realised it when I was younger, is like how it's like because it's like this nice place like Byron Bay, Lennox and shit, but it's like really like a lower socioeconomic place. Like there's like a lot of like rich people and shit, but they just like move there from Sydney and shit and they're rich.
Yeah.
But like really all the like our parents and shit are just like hippies and like whatever party people and surfers and shit from back in the day. So like, and there's no university there and there's just like these public high schools and then everyone's just like cooked and just like heaps of weed and shit. So my point, I say that to say this is like a lot of kids that I knew growing up moved out of home really young.
Yeah, right.
But I find like here in the city, a lot that isn't common.
Totally.
So you moved out. So did you grow up in Melbourne to move out of home?
No, I grew up in a really small town in the Snowy Mountains.
Oh,
in
crazy.
Northeast Victoria.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it was like
I didn't even know this. I thought the Snowy Mountains were. No, that's the
Blue Mountains.
Blue Mountains. New South Wales.
Yeah.
Snowy Mountains are lit. Tell me.
Yeah, so many mountains. And it's a town called Corryong, and it's like super small. It has like 1,500 people, like max.
Wow.
Yeah, and so I just like went to the public high school there, and there was just a point where I just
How far out of Melbourne is it?
it's about like a 6-7 hour drive.
So like it's like far as hell.
Yeah.
So it's just like is it just like north of Melbourne?
Yeah. It's like northeast.
Northeast. So like
it's like right on the border of
New South
Victoria.
Wales?
Yeah. Do you know where Aubrey is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like an hour and a half, 2 hours like away.
North?
Yeah, northeast. Yeah.
Sick. I'm a geography
the
guy. I like
border.
to know where shit is.
Yeah, that's good. I'm not. That's the only thing I know about Australia.
No, that was insightful. You know where Byron Bay is.
Yeah.
So we good.
Okay, cool. There's 2 places I know. Yeah. You're about to school me if I didn't know.
No. I'm chilling.
Yeah. Heaps chill.
Heaps chill.
So like, put your ad in there.
Heaps chilled. Heaps chilled.
Heaps chill.
Yeah, so you were going to school there and you moved out of home when you were 16, local high school.
Yeah.
Didn't like motherfuckers?
Nah, like...
Motherfuckers were fucked, right?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Sorry they're listening.
Nah, fuck you, motherfuckers. King RV's the shit.
Watching.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I just... basically I just got a bit sad there, and that was as simple
Snowing
as that.
and shit. Does it snow? The Snowy Mountains.
Yeah,
Assuming.
well, it like doesn't snow like on your house.
Yeah.
Because we're in like a valley. It's like literally like in a hole around
Fuck,
the
it'll
mountains.
get cold in the valley.
It's so cold. It's like gross.
How
cold.
far is it up to like the hills where it would snow and stuff from like the valley?
Like not far. Like tops, you could do it in like a 20-minute drive. You know.
Skids.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like.
So did you move out of your town into another house in your town, or did you go, fuck this, I'm going to Melbourne?
Yeah.
No, I moved to Wodonga.
Yeah.
And went to a private school there for half of year 11 and for year 12, basically because my high school in Koryong didn't have a music program.
Oh, big stays.
Yeah.
Big stays. Big getting out of the hood, going to make music in Wodonga stays. Lit.
And so I boarded down there, and basically it was like the best thing ever did. It had like the best music program, and it was just like amazing for me, and I just like transformed as a human in terms of like my attitude and everything. And that was really cool, and I really credit my time at that school to like having a really good step out into the world or whatever. And so like straight from there I moved to Melbourne like only like a few days after my last exam
of year 12.
Yeah, and just like went to Melbourne straight away. And do you want me to keep going with my life story?
Yeah. Until this point, fuck it.
Yeah.
This is
chilled. I love this. I love this story. I'm enthralled.
Yeah. Okay. Sick. Just tell me if it gets boring.
Moved to Melbourne.
Yeah.
Had you been to Melbourne before much?
Yeah. Like I was born in Melbourne in Williamstown, and then we moved to Koryong when I was like 2.
What's it called again?
Koryong.
Yeah. Koryong. Yeah. Okay.
Koryong. Yeah.
Fuck you, motherfuckers in Koryong. Nah, you guys are good, but you guys that Claire didn't like. Not Claire, King IV didn't like. I'm cooked. I'll be smoking weed and shit. The people love it.
You're like, you didn't have that another, dude.
Yeah, we're gonna smoke another one before I came, and then I was like, he's like, I want to steam one. I was like, probably shouldn't. I'll be too cooked. I'm at a perfect cooked level.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still saying some shit wrong, but like, we good.
Heaps chill.
Heaps chill.
Yeah.
Moved to Melbourne. Ambition. You just done the music program.
Yeah.
Rocky theme, running steps musically.
Yeah.
And then. So what happens next?
And then I moved to Melbourne because I got into Australian Institute of Music, and then I went there for like 10 minutes because I didn't like it.
You were just like, fuck these motherfuckers.
I was like, I hate school.
There's a reoccurring theme of you just being like, I don't like this shit, fuck this shit. That's good.
I'm just like so impatient and like not tolerant of anything. No, I just like got bored of being in a classroom, I suppose. Like I'm all about like learning and education and all those good things, but I just like couldn't get into it, I suppose. And then I left. Like it was such a controversial decision for everyone because I'd like just moved to Melbourne.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, nah, I'm out. And everyone was like, what are you doing?
Like when you say everyone, you mean like your family and shit like that?
Yeah. And there was just like a lot of people that around me that put high value on like a university education.
Yeah. And I was talking about that today.
Yeah.
Like university and shit, because like, I don't know, I got a new job today.
Yeah,
and
sick. Good one.
Yeah, thank you. I'm pretty psyched. And
what are you doing? Or you don't want to say in the podcast?
I don't give a fuck, Like I work a job. Like I'm not a famous rapper, or like you know what I mean. Like I have to work a job.
Totes.
And I got more songs coming, so we'll see what happens in the future. But right now I got to work a job and do a podcast and rap and whatever. It's better than shit I've done in the past to get money. So I'm just like trying to be a disciplined dude and do the good thing instead of the bad thing, and that means working a job 40 hours a week instead of certain other things.
For sure,
So I'm pretty psyched.
That's sick.
And the job I have been doing has been like 4 hours on public transport to get to. So this one's, it's been pretty rough, but it kind of got me into like working, the discipline of like working an office job again and shit like that. So now I just got a job at NAB, doing like, I guess credit cards and shit over the phone, like in a contact center. And it's like good money and shit. But like the reason I'm psyched is because, and I was brought it back to what we're talking about, like the education and shit. Like all motherfuckers in the interview today had like master's degrees and shit like that. And like I never went to uni and shit like that. I just finished high school and then just smoked weed and rapped and like did other things and shit like that, and just like worked odd jobs and shit and like whatever. And like dudes have master's degrees and they're in there like going, and like just being so
Literally
boring. The
saying
interviewer's
that.
just sitting there like going, like, and they're just like mumbling and just can't talk and shit. And I'm just like, I'm just this dude, and then just got the job. So like, I'm pretty psyched. So like, I don't know, like educate, like if you want to be a doctor or something like that, or like learn a specific thing. But dudes just go to uni and they're just like, I'm going to do a business degree, and then they just like finish it, and then they're like, oh, go and do this. I'm just like,
you could have done that without it.
You could have done it without it. But maybe everyone's different, I guess.
Yeah.
And maybe some people can't just swag it out.
Totally. And I think it's all about like finding like your purpose or whatever. Like some people that takes a super long time, and which is like totally fine. but it makes it hard early in life because you have that pressure to figure it out.
Fully.
And it's like, I hate it because, you know, so many people, like, as if you want to dive headfirst into something you're not sure is what you want to spend the rest of your life doing.
Yeah. Totally.
Like, that freaks me out for people.
Yeah, and you don't have to do something for the rest of your life either, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it.
Which is sick. And, like, I guess I've just found now that I'm good at communicating. So, like, I can just do a job like that. That just doesn't really, everyone thinks they need a degree and shit. But, like, I'm like, you're just communicating with people. And, like, I'd probably do that as good as anyone in here. So, like, I can get the job. Yeah. And like the other people are good at other shit, you know? Like if you're good at math, I don't know, man, I'm just talking shit. But like if you're good at maths, if you're really good at maths, you're fucking 15 and you're good at maths, like I don't know. I might be talking shit. Like maybe you need like a specific degree to do accountancy and books for people. But can you just start like working for a dude and doing books? And like I wish I dropped out of school when I was 12 and started rapping, like every day, just like boom, boom, motherfucker, yeah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like I just like fuck school, fuck uni. I don't know.
I mean. Sometimes I just wish I dropped out and just like worked and saved money. Because like the biggest thing for me is I'm like, you need money for everything. Like
that's why I got that job today. Like like, and I've done the broke artisting. Yeah. I've done the hustling artisting. I've done the like whatever. But it's just like not even to, if you just want to get shit in motion, you just need money to build equity and shit like that in your own shit if you want to do shit and shit like that. Yeah, imagine if you dropped out when you were 10 and you just started saving like $100 a week. Yeah. And then like when you're 14 and you could get a proper job. And dropping out at 10's a bit skit. It's like but you know what I mean? Like 14 or something.
There's kids like out on farms, man. Dude, you know, like they never go to school and they just, and they're like farmer dudes and they're probably they got more money in the bank than all of us and probably have a 100-acre property. Like
million acres. Yeah. And there's kids in Bali working 3 jobs and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're getting it.
There's kids, man. There's guys I work at like at this cafe like I work at, man, and they work 3 jobs and like they do more hours than me at that place. Yeah. And then they finish and go and clean houses at night. And then they come home and go and do something else. And I'm like, and I'm complaining about like, oh, I'm a bit tired. Like, and they're going to uni while doing that and paying upfront for their thing, like
off their own back.
Yeah, off their own back and sending money back to their family.
Yeah,
like
putting the whole team on.
Literally,
it's so lit, man. Like there's this really at my job that I work now. There's this real nice Indian dude that I've become friends with, Nikal. Shout out Nikal, he's a man. And he has a finance degree.
What's his name?
Nikal.
That's a beautiful name.
Yeah, he's a nice guy, and he's got a master's in finance and shit like that because I work in a insurance job now or whatever. And he was just like, you know what you really got to do, man? Like you work a job like this and then you work a job at Subway and you got a job at Subway and he has a master's degree and he just like drives a new Audi and shit. Like he doesn't care. He's got the lit car. He's just like, I'm working, man. Like I'm just getting this good Aussie cash. And like when people are racist against immigrants and shit saying like they took our jobs and shit, it's like, motherfucker, you won't work as hard as them.
Yeah,
and like why do you think you deserve like all this shit because like Australia is your country, like man, like it's just like if you're not as willing to work,
like they can't
and free healthcare and shit like that.
Exactly, like they're, you know, I completely agree with that. Like there's sometimes where you be a bit like, oh, it's just because like the Aussies are going to take it for granted and be like, we can pay this dude $11 an hour, I'm just going to do it. But like at the same time, it's like, well, man, like if they're happy to do that and they're not going to compete, I suppose that's not fair because they should have a voice to speak out against that. But like at the same time, if they're going to do it for $1 less an hour than you and they're going to do it 2 times faster and 10 times better, yeah, I'd hire them as well. I
actually listened to this interesting. Well, this is so off topic, but it's an interesting concept. And it's about, it was this guy on this podcast. I can't remember his name. He was like a businessman or whatever. Yeah. And like, you know, I know everyone, especially in Melbourne, hates capitalists and hates making money and shit like that. But he was like he lives in Puerto Rico, basically. He's an American businessman and he lives in Puerto Rico because there's no tax in Puerto Rico or like really low tax or whatever. So the country is like trippy. I think the economy of the country is trippy and shit like that. Yeah. And he was saying, and they want to bring in like there's no minimum wage there. Right. But he was, no, there is a minimum wage. I don't know. But his argument was that a minimum wage is bad because it denies people the opportunity to learn shit because like they can't work for like less, so the people can't employ people and they can't like learn skills and level up. I know it's a pretty trippy way of thinking about things.
It's understandable, but at the same time, man, like really I value a person's life and an hour of their life to be like, like all round. And I understand different places, but I think like minimum, like if you're younger and stuff, I understand, but like $15 at least is worth an hour of someone's
Yeah.
life, no matter what they're
Well,
doing.
dude,
like even 20, I think 20 it should be, but like,
Oh yeah,
you know,
Well, like I just try to get as much as I can an hour, and like I that's why I work like a temp job and shit like that, because it's like $28 an hour.
yeah, exactly.
It's crazy how many like concepts and like shit, how many dudes just wrecking shit. Like I really get lost in it all, and I'm so like easily swayed. Not easily swayed, but just on like shit like that. Like when I heard that concept and like when he explained it, I was like, oh, that's really interesting. Like people don't need to value money as much. They can value the experience and learning a skill, and then that can lead them to make more money. But then it's like, oh, what about the dude that needs the money? And there's just so much shit. I just get real apathetic to shit. I'm just like, man, I don't know, eh? Like, fuck, I'm just a dude trying to make rap songs and shit.
For sure. Like, I think there's like, you're like inundated with angles as well.
Yeah.
Like, it gets complex really quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just good to, I don't know. I'm just like, politicians are fucked. That's why I'm just like, fuck all you motherfuckers. None of you guys represent me, really. I don't feel like I never felt like any politician represented me.
Yeah, it's
So
deep.
that was good. I feel like we touched some good indoor outdoor.
I feel like we just solved some world problems.
Yeah,
Keeps chill.
we just realized it's just 2017. Shit's hot.
Yeah.
Just get in the kitchen or get out.
Yeah.
And you're in the kitchen, King Harvey.
Yeah.
So you got back to the kitchen.
Yeah.
Back to the kitchen.
Finally
We're in
back to the
Melbourne
kitchen.
cooking pancakes and shit.
Yeah.
So then you're like, fuck you motherfuckers at the college.
Yeah.
Dropped out. Everyone was tripping.
Yeah.
What happened next?
And then I basically like it was like a real weird year. I'm sure we've all like had one of those years where you just like, that was weird.
Yeah.
And you like didn't really do much.
Yeah.
But I
I had a couple.
yeah, I mean, like we've all been there. But well, I guess like I did stuff, but it was like, to me, it was all kind of like setting foundations for what I wanted to do. I suppose that sounds kind of weird, but
No, that's not weird.
yeah. I kind of did a lot of like writing.
Made the plan?
and- yeah,
Stuck to a plan?
yeah,
You got to have a game plan, or you can just blindlessly go at it.
for sure. And I think it was a lot of time like figuring out what I wanted my like place to be in the music industry, or even like working out the music I wanted to make and that kind of thing. Because like I came to Melbourne as like a singer songwriter, like with her acoustic guitar, and like wanted to hit up open mic nights and stuff.
Dope.
And like
And then you adapted.
yeah, and like now and within
Because
like
like
a
in the
year,
70s, that's how you made it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then now you like this weird like social media, like
Well,
playing
yeah.
this first show at Listen Out. Like that's very different to being like a acoustic open mic. Anyway, continue. I'm
Yes.
fucking fascinated.
No,
in the way
you're
that you're
right.
thinking about how long you mapped it all out and shit. It's really interesting.
Yeah, sick.
Continue.
Thanks, man. I guess like that's like a really good point as well about like adapting to the current times. But I also just found a lot of like cool music that I liked, which I realized that isn't the music that I made.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically kind of just like gave up in terms of like guitar and acoustic instruments and all that kind of thing, and got into like I got Logic and stuff and started like making demos and everything. And then I just did that for like a year and just went to heaps of panels in Melbourne and stuff and conferences and tried to meet heaps of people and everything. And yeah, I like spent like a lot of time in my room just like writing and not talking to anyone.
Listen out there, kids, motherfuckers, hidden dudes up being like, how do I make that? What?
Yeah.
That's the game right there. She just gave you the game.
Exactly.
I guess,
hard
like-
work and time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess if I had like one thing I would want people to listen to is that I like so many people get weirded out by me spending so much time in my room, which I
Yeah.
guess like if you're not doing something productive, it might seem weird. But
Fully.
I think
Like
yeah,
housemates and shit like that and friends and shit like
yeah,
that?
yeah, just being like, why don't you go out?
Yeah.
And I was just like, because I want to do shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like go out and party and shit like that?
Yeah, yeah. And I guess I just didn't.
I feel you, eh? I haven't
Yeah.
been partying much at all this year. I partied. Last time I partied, I've talked about last time I got drunk, that's still the same time. And then before that was Splendor. And like I've just been like, me and Gus we've made a bunch of songs this year. And like, we've just been like training and shit like that. And just like not partying. And I feel so much happier. And like reading books and shit, my brain feels so much switched on. Like it's fun to
Totally.
party, but like I've washed myself out partying, eh?
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like it's this cool thing to like party and shit, but like it fucking washes you. So yeah, that's another thing. Like it's sick that you just haven't been partying and shit like that.
Yeah, like I definitely, you know, like I had fun and stuff, but for that first year, I guess I didn't feel like comfortable like going and doing stuff because I didn't really know what fun was for me at that time as well. Like, you know, I could have been going and getting drunk every weekend and everything, but that wasn't like exciting at that time.
Yeah.
Like now I'm like totally up for having a party and stuff, but I was like in this mindset where I was like, there's things I need to like work out in my head to be comfortable to like you know, enjoy myself. It like sounds kind of sad.
No, that's not sad. That's beautiful.
Yes.
Hey, that's the opposite of sad. Like, you know, like I've been saying lately, like, you know, people are just like, I'm unhappy and shit. I'm like, yeah, but like you got to work for your happiness. Yeah. Like you really do have to work for your happiness, eh? Like whether that's like exercise or reading or like, you know, fucking even just like thinking. Like I know you go to yoga. Yeah. Like I need to start doing that with you, man. Well, I need to start meditating more and shit. Yeah, like you got to work for your happiness, eh?
The thing that you were just saying then is like, you know, a lot of people, don't get me wrong, love, you go out and you can always have a good time, but realistically, it's an easy way out because you're going out using alcohol to make yourself think that everything like... Because if you go out sober and did a night you normally do with your friends when you're lit as and you're 10 drinks deep, you know, and like having a ball, if you go there and you're not drinking, you're like, this is just retarded. Like, what are people doing? Like, you're like standing there going, like, why am I here? I could have, even sometimes like, if I'm like that and I'm actually like on the border, I'm only on my 5th beer or something, and I'm like, oh, and then I'll be like, man, I could have been at home and made 2 songs by now. You know, I could have mixed that track I did yesterday. Like, and like, I don't mean to put that on because, you know, like, it's still great. You go, and when you're making music, like people like us do, like, you need to find the balance of staying in your room and like working really hard, but at the same time, if you're constantly doing that and never leave, you're never going to have anything to make music about.
Yeah, for sure.
So you gotta,
so true, man.
Yeah.
You got to get those experiences that you can take back and work on, and like things like travel can be massive for that. And
I don't know if it's an excuse, but when I was like partying heaps and like eating heaps at MD and shit like that, I was just always like high, just being like, you gotta be in the clubs and listen to the music and how it hits the speakers and how it hits the people. Like you got to see it and shit, which is true as well. You got to experience it all, I reckon.
Fully, like I totally agree with that as well. I think, it's really about getting to know your own balance as well, because there were points where I just felt so dumb for ages after like partying. Yeah. And I was like, I can't do this all the time because I just like waste weeks on like killing my brain cells.
It kills your brain.
And, you know, but then there's also instances where I've been like, damn, like I've really hit a nice sweet spot in enjoying music and that kind of thing. Like you go back to write a song, like it makes you, especially when you're in music, it's really like awesome to party and then just be like, fuck yeah, music is so good. And then like you get excited to like work on songs more.
Fully,
you know.
100%.
Yeah. And there's some sick mad dogs at party and it's so fun partying with them. Last weekend I went out to that Dex and Dossie gig, and then I went to Piss Fart Records album launch, and they had Drunk Mums and Dumb Punts play, and I was sober, and everyone was just so pissed. And like I have so many, I never go to those gigs, like those rock shows and shit. But like I'm friends with all the dudes, and like it was sick, man. Like they killed it. There was a Shannon Knoll cover. Like I thought it was set up, man. Like honestly, this is what happened, right? Drunk Mums are up on stage. They're waiting for the singer. He's like just being cool, Lord, like still having a beer there, just like, I don't know, just playing the instruments, playing little riffs and shit, drummers drumming. And then this dude just gets up so maggot Australian, just like maggot Australian, just like dude.
Just like one more time.
Maggot Australian.
Pull it up. Just get your hand on it and push that to where you need it. Yeah.
I think that should be our episode name.
There's
that's it.
there.
Maggot. He was a maggot Australian dude.
Yeah.
And he was quite maggot, and he was wearing like a button shirt and just like a dude. And he got up, and I was like, "Is this set up?" He got up, and he's like, "Who wants to fucking hear some Nosey and shit?" I was like, "No way, this is definitely set up. Drunk Mum set this up." Yeah. And then he's just like looking at the crowd. I'm like, no, he's not going to do it. Like, I was fully sober. Like, I didn't drink at all. And I was just like, everyone's so pissed on MD and just like coked up and shit. I'm just like, no way. And then he just is like, what about? And everyone's just sings it. He just goes in, sung the whole song. The band played to What About Me by Shannon Knoll the whole time. He fucking killed it. And it was so weird. Then the singer got up and was like, I think he was trying to go with another one. I don't know what his next choice would have been. And then the singer was just like, get the fuck off stage. I was like, man, Was that not set up? But I was sober the whole time at both shows. I had like maybe 2 beers at the end of the night.
Yeah.
And like it was sick because everyone was fucked up. You know, when you fucked up, everyone's like, "I love you, man. Like you're such a lord." And that shit. And like everyone was doing that to me. And like, you know, as you always do that when you're partying and shit. But I was sober.
Yeah.
So I could like really take it in. I was just like, "Thanks, man. That's really nice of you. Like, I love you too, bro." Like instead of just being like, "I love you too."
Yeah, but I really got to run to my man and get another rail.
Yeah, I was just like, "Thanks, man. Like that's really nice of you, bro." Like,
How weird is it though when you're sober and people like show you affection? Because I really take it in. And like the next day I'm just like, damn, that was so nice. And then like you realize that like they probably don't even remember and they would not do it sober.
Yeah,
you're
but
like,
at least like their heart feels like that, I guess. I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Some people might be drunk and be like, "I love you," to dudes they don't, but I don't. I just like to people I like more. I'm like, "Yo, you're the man," and shit. You know?
yeah.
I think what do they say? Drunk lips speak sober thoughts.
Oh yeah.
So
Definitely, very true.
Yeah, it's truth in that.
how did you meet Jack and
Claire.
Claire?
You just bring your brain just out a little bit.
I was going to say Romarian.
Ramaran, yeah.
Yeah, Romarian.
Um,
Then I was stoned again. That's a sick name.
yeah, it's sick. Yeah, I met them basically 3 years ago. I went to Big Sound.
Yeah.
And I didn't know anyone. I didn't know shit. And
That's sick. Did you go to Big Sound this year?
yeah,
I've never been, and like heaps of my friends always go. I'm like, man, I should go.
it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's probably like my favorite time of the year.
That's dope.
It's just like hectic on every level and you're like truly exhausted.
Yeah.
Like I've never done something more exhausting,
Crazy.
but it's just like a buzz the whole time and you
Word.
just love your life.
Yeah. And you're around people who like get you and understand you and like understand what you're trying to do and shit like that.
Yeah, that like fully just surrounded by like-minded people.
Yeah.
I sound like I'm trying to sell Big Sound. I'm just like Big Sound.
And if you go to
2018.
King Ivy's website for $350, you can get the 12-month pre-sale Big Sound tickets right now before tickets sell out. Screw. And put in the code King Ivy for 25% discount.
Wait, before we go further with this, because I'm just like coming from a point of view where I don't know who these people that you guys are kind of going on about are. Can you guys explain who Jack and Claire or am I only?
Yeah, do you want to do that?
Yeah, they run Joy Luck Studios.
And what's Joy Luck Studios? Is that like a actual recording studio?
Yeah, it's a recording studio in Collingwood.
Yeah.
That they have on top of this old building and like a shop front or whatever, and then they have this big rooftop. It's real dope, and they have a stage there, and they have people come up and play sets and parties and shit. And there's gonna be some sick parties there this summer. I was talking to Jack about it last weekend, and they're mad dogs, and they make really good music. They've had a lot of success, and they're independent. Their little studio's independent.
Yeah.
And they've had a few different projects over the years that have been successful and got them signed, and then worked with a lot of other people and helped their music. So they're kind of like producers as well as artists. And that's where she records, kind of how like I come and record with you, you know what I mean?
Perfect.
She goes there.
Awesome. Cool.
There you go.
Yeah.
Look,
That was
Joy
a
Luck
great
Studio.
pitch. She did it a lot better than I would have.
And oh man, I'm so bad at names. That's one thing I really need to work on, like remembering names of things.
Yeah.
Even with like, I'm the biggest basketball nerd, but even with like basketball players' names and shit, I'm like, it can annoy some of my friends I know because I'm like some European name, like saying like Undercupo or whatever. I'm just like for the first like 6 months I have to hear it so many times.
Yeah.
Like and to remember it. But what's the name of their new group called?
Cult Kiss.
Cult Kiss, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they've got a group called Cult Kiss as well, and they used to have a group called Deja.
Yeah, cool.
And they're like a couple, and they do music
Do it
together.
all together.
And they've been together for like 10 years, I think.
Crazy.
And they're still making music together. It's really fucking beautiful and interesting, and
that's
really
awesome.
Totally.
inspiring.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what were we talking about before?
Well, how I met them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Big Sound.
Yeah. Yeah, so I went to Big Sound 3 years ago and I met Dave Ruby Howe, who's from
He's a
Triple J.
lord.
He's such a lord.
Yeah.
He's a sick guy. He's super nice. And
I talked to him on email because he was like, I like the podcast and shit, and I like this episode. He liked the Poppy episode. And then I was like, got to get you on the podcast, dude. And then he was like, yeah, next time I'm in Melbourne, I'll do it for sure. And then I was like, sick. So, dog, we're waiting for it.
Shout out. This could be you.
Yeah, this could be you. This could be your life.
Yeah.
So you met Dave Ruby Howe. He was frothing.
Yeah, I chatted to
He's
him.
a good frother.
And well, I didn't even have really anything then. And just like some demos, which like...
Were you showing them to people and shit?
No, not really. Like wasn't really confident to do that.
Yeah.
And in hindsight, I'm really glad I didn't.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
so good. I was a kook when I was younger. I just thought I was Nas and shit, and I was just like, wasn't that good at rapping. And I was just like, I'm better than Nas and shit. And I would just show whoever would listen, like, just too much confidence and not enough skill. But like,
no,
I got better. We good.
Yeah.
like you got to start with something, you know,
Yeah,
like something to keep pushing you along.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I talked to him, and I basically just said I'm looking for a producer to like turn my demos into something cool.
Yeah.
And he gave me Jack's email, and then I just emailed him, was like, what's up? And then he was just like, want to come hang one day? And I was like, yeah, cool. And then I just went over there one day, and this is like, I was like 18 or something. It was like a while ago. And we just like chilled out, and yeah, just like got along really well, like vibed each other and everything. And I think it was like maybe a month or two later, I just had my first studio session with Jack, and yeah, it was just like good times all around.
Yeah,
and we just
good
like,
vibes in there, eh? I love how he's just like, totally, man. Like, that's beautiful. Like, just the Jack, like, he's just like, he's just frothing, eh?
For sure,
He's got a great energy.
Totally. And yeah, and we just really clicked like straight away, like musically and like personally as well. So that was really cool and really exciting for me to like be making cool stuff.
Yeah.
And I just remember being like so pumped, you know?
To go?
Well, yeah, just
like
to be
night
like
before, just being like,
yeah, fully.
Would he give you beats and you go away and write and then go back and sing them, or would you write there with him?
A bit of both. Like I pretty much in the early studio sessions, I was like there for the whole thing, which I used to be like so amazed by, because I'd be like, am I killing a vibe being here? Because I just can't work in front of people like that. It's like cool.
He's just like, Gus is the same. He's just like, and starts doing that, and just starts making beats. It's so lit.
Sick. That's so good. How you can just kind of zone in. What was the question? I think I answered it.
Yeah, you answered it.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Oh, that's okay.
I have a shout out question from the sideline.
Yeah.
So just after hearing like, because I hadn't heard much of your music besides I heard it a couple times on the J's, and then I hadn't like, you know, in the car when you don't catch the name at the start and the song's over and they might not say it until like 2 songs later and stuff. So I was like, oh, this is awesome. And then Piers was like, this is it, like this is who's coming like next week and stuff. So I've been listening.
Sick.
If you were stuck on an island with 3 albums,
oh, gross.
what would they be?
Oh man. Yeah, okay. First one would be MIA's Maya.
Big,
album.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
That's cool.
That's like if I had only like, I'd almost like take 3 copies of that. No, I wouldn't. But no, that's
the number one.
Yeah, like that fully is what got me, I reckon, or not like entirely obviously, but the first ever album that like excited me so intensely about music. And I was like, it was like my first day of high school, and my sister played one song to me in the car on the way, and I was just like, the fuck is this?
Yeah.
That's crazy how it can hit you like that, eh?
Yeah, for sure.
You just knew, eh? Then you were just like, this is the shit.
Yeah. And then, yeah, my other choices. Man, that's a tough one.
Gus, put the pressure on.
I'm going to say, yeah, no, it's
It's a good question.
In the kitchen, there's pressure.
Yeah. No, it's cool. I'm going to say Santa Gold, Master of My Make-Believe. Yeah, basically, like when I first put out that first single, everyone was like, and Jack used to say a lot, oh, Santa Gold vibes, you know, and I'm like, who is Santa Gold? Because I had never heard of her, and then I listened to that album and I was like, damn, son, like, that's cool. And it's cool when you like, someone thinks you're influenced by something and you're not, and you listen to it and you're just like, shit, totally get it.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's like, once again, the ethos, like, it's just like that vibe, that aura is just like coming to you, and then you're like, like if you hadn't even heard her, and then people saying you sound like that, then you listen to it and you're like, this is similar, and it does sound similar. It's like you guys are on like the same like wavelength almost, or something like that.
Totally, yeah. I think he heard a lot of like influences in me that I hadn't heard yet. It's because like it's that second perspective as well, and I guess. Yeah, so that was really cool.
That is cool.
And then
last one.
My last one, it would be, I thought of it while you were talking, so thanks for talking.
No worries. That's what I'm here to do.
I was like, I feel like you would give me a bit of space this thing there. I appreciate it. Yeah.
I wasn't, but thank you for that. I was just talking.
meant to do that.
Actually, I was just talking.
I'm just trying to like do just like zone in and do more listening because like quite often I can just be like
Yeah.
and shit. So like I'm just trying to like be the focus dude. So
Yeah, sick.
I like listening.
Yeah. And yeah, my third one will
Listen
be.
out.
Yeah. Shit. We've got so many sponsorships we're throwing
Yeah,
in.
I'd like to thank Listen Out for officially sponsoring the podcast. I'm joking.
Would be Elephant's EP, Look Like You Love It. And you should listen to it because it's cool.
I haven't heard that.
She's-
I haven't even, like, to be honest, I haven't listened to that Sound of Gold album either. Like, I've heard Sound of Gold songs over the years, and like, I know she's hell cool.
I've listened to that album, and I saw her at Blues Fest in Byron Bay.
Oh, yeah,
which
sick.
was awesome. It was
Yeah.
like really good.
Oh,
like,
man,
super
that's
cool
so
live
good.
show. Like
I've never seen her live, so yeah.
it was awesome.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, that EP, but like Elephant Live is just like melt your face off. Like it's so good. She was like the first gig I ever went to when I first came to Melbourne.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was just remember being so fresh and just being like, oh, Melbourne, wow. And then I went to her live gig like by myself because I had no friends.
Oh, cool.
And also I didn't know anyone that knew her. And
What venue was it at?
at the Howler.
Yeah, big,
And-
very close to where we're at right now.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember just like my mind was so blown, like I can't even like talk about it. And every time I think about doing live shows now, I'm just like, think of that time
That's
and how
crazy.
she killed it, you know?
That's
It was
crazy.
really, really inspiring. Yeah, so her EP, yeah, it's like an earlier EP. Everything
Yeah,
she's done.
what date is this like kind of from? Is it from like before you went to that first show? Or is
yeah.
It, so
And
kind
where's
of
she
it's
from?
been
Give
out
us
for a
the
while.
Ella breakdown because like
She's-
I'm
yeah.
I'm ignorant. I don't know anything about her.
I think you'd really like her.
Yeah.
She's like super cool. She's just got, yeah. She's
What
like,
kind of music does she make?
It's like, it's electronic, but it's got like this hip hop kind of like Afrobeat, reggae kind of feel to
And
it.
is she an Australian artist?
No, she's from Sweden.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
See, I don't know. I don't know at all. That's cool.
Yeah.
Sweden's crazy with the music, eh?
Totally.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you listen to much Swedish music?
Yeah.
Have you heard of a band called Liss?
No.
Oh man, they're like my
They're
favorite
great.
band. Eh?
Yeah, they got
like
some
I
killer
haven't
songs.
even really been listening. I listen to music. I just go to Apple Music, go to hip hop,
Yeah.
and then I just go let it like just stream. And I'm just like, no, I don't like that song. No, I don't like that. Yeah, this song's lit. And then sometimes I just listen to like albums and shit. But Liss, like they have a 4-song EP. They're from Sweden. They sound like Prince kind of.
Yeah.
And like I've just been smashing them over and over again. Like if people are like, what are you listening to? I'm just like Liss. Like still, I just think that album's so sick.
Yeah, you
Sick.
showed me that
AP.
the first day you came over to make a song and still bumping it. So
I'll have to
Yeah,
check
you should
it
check them
out.
out.
Yeah, I totally
Sweden's
will.
got a really interesting music scene, eh?
Mm.
How does-
Yeah.
do you know anything about the Swedish music scene?
I do a little bit.
Cool.
Do you mean like?
I just mean like how so in Australia we have Triple J, which like promotes a lot of music and shit like that, and
Yeah.
it gets music out. Like what do they have in Sweden as their platform that gets it
Right.
out? Do you know?
Like no, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've read a lot of blogs on Sweden actually about why they pump out so much cool stuff.
Yeah,
But no, I don't know like the logistics of like their industry or
yeah.
anything.
What did the blogs about why they pump out cool stuff say?
Yeah, there was like heaps of different theories of why they are so successful in terms of like creativity.
Yeah. That's fucking interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. Because I do like have so many favorite artists that are from Sweden,
Yeah.
and they said that one big factor that a lot of people consider is that because, and I don't know, like you can take what you want from it, but is that their language is so like melodic when they speak.
Yeah.
Is that's why they have such a handle on kind of like cutting edge melodies and that kind of thing, and like
Fully, that makes a lot of sense.
yeah,
It's like a superpower. They just train with a superpower, then they get in a
Yeah.
hyperbolic time chamber, and then they take the ankle weights off, and then they just speak English and sing beautiful melodies.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's
it's
the thing about
nuts.
Liss as well. Like they just have beautiful melodies. I didn't think every time you hear like a Swedish person, like they're on some real melodic shit, eh?
Yeah.
For sure, yeah. And then the other theory, I guess, is kind of more believable. Is that they're like a privileged country and they
Yeah,
have a lot of
yeah, yeah.
time.
Yeah, fully.
Yeah, they don't have to like slow.
It could be a
Combination.
combo.
Yeah.
Combo.
It's a good combo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like to believe the melodic language one because I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, that's cool.
It's like
Yeah.
peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably the privileged one as well because it's hard to make music when you're not privileged.
Yeah,
Makes it
yeah.
a lot harder, even though
Washing
like it's
dishes.
cheap.
In this day and age, but man,
Yeah.
small excuses, you know. If
Fully.
you can get your hands on some sort of laptop and like a $100 interface and even the boys from like Milwaukee Banks, their microphone, you can get that shit for like $80 on eBay.
Fully.
Like,
Yeah.
you can Yeah,
I know,
music.
yeah.
it's pretty crazy. I mean, obviously, like it's hard to like learn the basics and stuff, but like once you can like start developing, and I think that's the thing is that like as soon as like even when I was younger and as soon as I get my hands on gear and you can make your own song and you're like, this is sick, I'm gonna put it out, and you put it out the night you make it and you're like, I didn't even, and then the next day you're like, this is awful, like what was I thinking, sort of thing. It's like you were saying how you worked on that song for a year. Sometimes you need to like actually listen to what you've done and not just be like, this is cool, like make 100 songs before you put one out sometimes, like it's crazy.
And just like fresh ears all the time.
How many songs do you think you made before you put out your first one?
Like how many songs?
And did you put out other songs before those 3 songs? Is there mystery songs out there with you as another name?
Floating
And if
in
you don't
the
want to answer that name, you don't have. If you don't want to answer that question, you don't have to.
No, like funnily enough, I've actually had the name King Ivy since like I thought of it when I was like 17. So
yeah.
I've wanted to have that name, but
I like you take on like the king, the stoic like man, and like title, and then just use it, and it's just dope. Like
Sure.
it's brave. Like I'd
It's
probably be
really-
tripping on that to
yeah.
call myself king, but I think it's awesome.
sick. Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was like it wasn't one of those things. Did
Did it come to you in a vision
No,
when you're in the mountains, the snowy mountains,
I was just like
walking through a
trekking.
blizzard?
I was like King Ivy. Yeah, just like standing on
Pulled a
top of the
sword
mountain.
out. Pulled a sword. I'm King Ivy. Excalibur. They pulled a microphone out of a rock.
Just like drop some fat bee on the top of the mountain.
Toots, toots.
It's like the start of my
That'd be sick. Let's have a party on top of a mountain.
yeah, in a blizzard.
And if you don't make it, you don't get to party.
Make it to the top. Sorry. Oh man. Yeah. What was the question?
King.
where did I?
If you had any music out, how many songs
Oh,
you
yeah,
reckon
yeah.
you made, and if there are any floating out in the world
video
wide
well?
web?
Yeah. Please do. Yeah.
Got some water, guys?
I'm sweet, bro.
I got the dry mouth from the weed.
It's like you should put a tally of how many times you said weed already. Like,
Well, I just know the kids like it, so
Yeah.
we're trying to be cool. It's hard.
gotta please the kids.
Yeah, P's, I'm smoking a bong, watching Indo Outdoor. You don't know how many times I've heard that, so I'm just like, rip on, boys, rip on,
love
girls, rip on.
So good.
Indo outdoor.
It's
I
chill.
support the stoner culture.
Yes. The question.
The question
I'll
was,
answer.
Gus?
Yeah.
the question-
if I had
Yeah,
music
if you had
I mean,
music
voice.
out before, a
Yeah.
different name.
Yeah.
So you answered the different name part.
Yeah, so I've always had this name, but like admittedly, and I've never said it out loud, is that it's not that big of a deal. But I had like some songs on SoundCloud for like ages, like
Yeah.
a year, and they were just like demos, and that's the only thing I'd ever put out before then. And then like as soon as I realized that they were demos, because I was just
Yeah.
like thought they were cool, I took them down like straight away because I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god, they were up there for so long,
Yeah.
no one like
Heard 'em.
got them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then in terms of how many songs I did before these releases, do you mean like professionally recorded or
Nah,
just like
Let's just say
Just
how many
you,
songs
like,
you
yeah.
recorded
yeah?
and had as like an MP3 or whatever. WAV
Yeah.
or whatever.
Demos and
Um,
everything. Yeah, kind of like.
How many
Totally.
songs do you think you've written and recorded?
I reckon.
It's a hard question to answer. I don't know how many I would say.
I got a folder
But I'm
still
old.
on my hard drive of every song I've done, and I'm up to like 87.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I guess
that's
it's just a bit hard for me because I'm older. I'm like older. And
But I also have like I've never had someone record me.
That's
do
what I'm
my
saying, that's
music,
what I was about to
I've
say.
got all my stuff sitting
Yeah.
out. You've worked with different producers
Yeah.
sitting on hard drives
Yeah.
all over the place.
worked in different countries, so many different cons, just
Yeah.
like random shit.
yeah, for sure.
But I like the way that you do it. It's fucking lit. I wish I did that. I still could. Recording yourself and shit's lit.
Totally.
Anyway, this is about me.
Yeah. So probably in that year off, I had like this mantra of writing a song a day.
Big.
yeah.
So I reckon in terms of like Logic files, probably like maybe like 200.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's like unfinished songs as well.
Yeah, bits and pieces and ideas and
Yeah. So that I wouldn't be able to like hand you like 200 finished songs
Yeah.
if I said that. But yeah, just like a lot of, and then also I pulled a lot of things out of that for like the singles that I
Yeah,
did properly as
exactly.
well. Like even my next single, the chorus out of that is like an idea from ages ago.
When
That
the
was, like,
magic just hit you and then you listen back to it and you're like, this is dope.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. So we touched on a little bit before we were doing the podcast.
Yeah.
And you were saying how you won this Listen Out comp.
Yeah.
Thanks to Triple J on Earth, which is
Yes,
sick.
So sick. Thank you.
And that's your first show ever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like, that's crazy. So
Yeah, it's
you've
crazy.
been rehearsing for that.
Yeah.
When did you think you were going to start playing gigs? Did you kind of have in mind that you wanted to wait until something big, or like talk me through that? And like, I know you said you've been rehearsing heaps. So what do you mean by how much you've been rehearsing and shit like that?
Yeah. Basically, I didn't want to play live shows until next year.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to be like good, I guess.
Yeah.
And I wanted, also the fact that it was a lot of procrastination on my end as well, because I guess I got into a real studio zone of like
Just wanted to make
just wanted
music.
to make stuff, yeah. And it was really comfortable for me to do that.
Yeah.
And then basically, yeah, like I got the call for Listen Out, and I just said yes, and I didn't really think about it. But like, if they called again right now, I'd still say yes.
Yeah, that's a good problem to have.
Like, totally, yeah. And I'm actually really, really grateful to have gotten this opportunity, because I knew that there was going to have to be something to push me to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm also the kind of person that really likes pressure and like having to do things by a certain time.
Fully.
Like, so when I got the call, it was like I had 2.5 weeks to pull a live show together. And
when is it? When
it's on Saturday week.
Yeah,
so
next
Yeah.
Saturday is Listen Out.
Listen Out.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm keen.
You're going
I'll
to be
see
there?
Hell yeah.
Sick. Okay, cool.
Is
You better dance
Grace
for me.
playing that?
Yep.
Yeah, she said she'd get me a ticket, so I'll probably be there as well.
Sick. You guys be right
There's
at
a
the
big
front.
crew going.
Yeah.
You got to hype on the audience for me.
I'm hell keen.
You just
Yeah.
like rave from the start before I'm even on.
Yeah, we'll do that.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, we've gotten a few crowds going before.
Oh,
Definitely.
Sick.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes me feel better. Yeah. So, and then I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna do it, and just like I took like time off to do it, and I've just been rehearsing every day, and it's like the most stressful thing I've ever felt, and like the most overwhelming thing I've felt.
Whoa.
But yeah,
I'm
but
psyched because
Yeah.
like I like your mindset and the way that you like properly prepare for things.
mhm.
So I'm psyched to see.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
It'll be sick.
Yeah.
Are you gonna bring back some of your dancing days and do some dancing?
Yeah.
Or are you gonna do a very chilled, like, I guess you don't, if you want to keep it mystery.
I don't mind spilling the
Spilling
beans.
the
I mean,
beans.
there's
Spilling the beans.
there's
Yeah.
not that many beans, but
Oh,
yeah, shit. Yeah. No, I reckon I'll cut sick a bit. I'm not going to do anything like choreographed
Yeah.
or like any like
Yeah.
popping or locking or anything.
the poppers and the lockers.
I mean, or like any like of my ballet moves or anything, that'd just be whack.
Yeah.
But I'm totally up for like bringing energy and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And it's kind of
It's a pretty lit lineup as well. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
fucking
It's
sick.
really
it's
good.
really
It's gonna
sick.
be a
Yeah.
great festival. You're gonna hang around after your show. And
Yeah.
of course.
Oh man. So I'm just like can't wait to eat a dirty burger and like get drunk and stuff. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be so good. I'm just like gonna love my life so much once I'm
Yeah,
off stage.
after
that
it,
feeling of
after
when
it,
you
yeah.
finish the big
Even
show.
like as soon as you walk out, I reckon, like in those
Yeah.
instances, like even doing anything, you know what I mean? Like whether it's like doing a podcast or playing a show or like
As soon as you get
playing
started,
basketball, even, or like when I spar, it's like you're worried about it, and then as soon as you walk on stage, you'll be like, oh man, like
This is
good.
good.
Like it'll be over, and then you'll finish and you'll be like, sick.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so weird. And it's just about like up until that moment, just like staying focused as well,
Yeah.
and like not letting overwhelming thoughts like take over.
Yeah.
Fully.
Because like you can worry about everything if
Yeah.
you want, but
Yeah.
like it won't really do anything.
Yeah. And you've been
yeah.
rehearsing and preparing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and just like rehearsing.
So
every
what's
day.
your setup? You have a DJ?
Yeah,
Cool.
just a DJ at the moment. I've got this sick DJ. Her name's Matt Carr, and she is from Sydney.
What'd you say, Macca?
Matt Carr, so
Matt Carr, cool.
Matka.
Yeah.
Nice.
Matt Carr, that's cool.
Yeah, she's the best. She has just moved to Melbourne from Sydney. She's
Oh, cool.
originally from Melbourne, but she's just has such a handle on like we just both have such aligning tastes in music,
Awesome.
and it's so exciting.
So she'd
for
be
me.
psyched to DJ for you, eh? She'd be like,
For
I
sure,
like
yeah.
your music and shit like that.
Yeah, she seems pumped. Like we've been hanging
Yeah.
out and just like listening to cool music of
Cool.
like what we want to put between songs and that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
Dope.
And so it's been like really, really easy to work with her because we both like the same stuff. And and she's just like, you know, excited all around. So it's cool. It's like, it's been easy, which I'm like so grateful for.
Yeah.
Especially to like message someone when it's like 2 weeks away, you
Yeah.
know. So lucky that I got her on board. And hopefully like, yeah, she'll probably do future shows with me and everything. So
Dope.
it's nice to kind of have something to force you together
Yeah.
as well, in like a really high pressure situation.
And did you know her previously? Were you guys already friends, or
No.
you been hooked up?
Yeah, I just like literally like
It's cool to make new friends as well, especially somebody who's into all the same music as you and shit like that.
Totally, yeah. And she's just like a really, because like DJing is also something that I've been like getting into, and she's very skilled
Dope.
at that too. So I'm already like learning lots of her.
Dope.
Yeah, so I just literally messaged her on like Instagram or something, like because someone sent me her Instagram link when referring a DJ, and yeah, she was
Just hit
keen.
her up. She was psyched.
Yeah,
Awesome.
simple
I'm
as that.
psyched. I'm psyched to watch you guys perform. That'll be sick. Me and
Yeah,
Gus
that's
will be
gonna be
there.
beautiful.
Me and
Yeah.
Gus will be there.
Front center.
Sick.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bounce around.
I'm pumped.
We're bouncy. Your song
Yeah,
actually has a good
definitely.
bounce to it. Like when I was
It
playing
does,
it,
yeah.
when I was playing it, like just even off my iPad, like no speakers, before I came, just listening to it again, like just listen to the lyrics and listen to the bounce. I was just like, this is hella bounce. Just like, I'm just grooving to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sick. Yeah,
Yeah,
It's got the shoulder wobble.
Yeah.
Like that.
Oh,
yeah. Those like that tribal beat.
Yeah,
Makes you
yeah,
want to get
exactly.
freaky. Yeah, yeah. It's so
Dope.
good.
Well, thanks so much for coming on. I reckon we can pretty much wrap it up. I like to go about an hour, and we've done an hour. I think we've covered everything. We covered like your whole coming to Melbourne, starting making music, like
sure.
this like how you guys made the song, what the song was about, your songwriting process, high school years.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we need?
I got one more question.
Yep.
What's
Yep,
to come after this live show
Yeah.
and whatnot? Is there
Yeah.
is there any
Question.
details, or is it keeping it super secret at the moment?
Yeah, nah, like I'm cool to like give you the exclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. Next week, which hasn't been announced yet, but there's a remix EP coming out for We Can Get It.
Yeah.
And that is like the most exciting thing that's ever happened to me apart from listening out. It's like so cool to hear other people's takes on your own song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like so exciting.
Who's remixing it?
So I've got Donatachi.
Boom.
Yeah.
I love his.
Huge.
I love them all right remixes of that Oh Boy one.
Yeah. He's a very talented boy, like amazing.
Yeah.
He sent me like the first mix, and it like wasn't even freshly mixed, and I was like, "What?"
That's so
dumb.
dope.
Yeah, fully. It's so good. I'm so excited for people to hear that, and that's getting released by Sidechains, so that's really cool that they're like supporting that.
Pumping it out. That's awesome. Shout
Yeah.
out Sidechains.
Totally. And then this producer named OK Shaw from Melbourne, she makes really dark electronica music, and she just made like this 8-minute rave remix of it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear that, eh?
It's so good. And I'm just like getting way too hyped about it, but it's
Nah,
like honestly,
I can-
it's really cool. And I remember she sent it to me when I was like on the treadmill at the gym, and I like listened to it, and I just like ran for the whole 8 minutes, and I'm like, that's like the longest I've ever ran in my life.
That's the power of music, eh?
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's one of the only arts that can get you like moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. So that is really cool. She's also doing like a radio edit if you like aren't
That's dope.
into that.
Yeah,
Well,
if
that's
you can't
good
do the
because,
whole
like-
8-minute thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a journey.
We will.
Yeah.
But like some
Yeah.
people's palates aren't
Yeah.
that way inclined.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
They might just need the little parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's an artist called Future Stranger who, that's a new artist name. It's actually, do you know the band Retro Culture?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's Matt from Retro Culture, and this is his side project, and he did like this remix that it's like somehow he's made like a tribal beat, a tribal banger, like an emotional song. It's
Cool.
amazing. Like he's like made its own chorus
Well, like
and everything.
using your lyrics and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, the lyrics are quite emotional.
They
I think
are.
kind of like that's why I was like, oh, like is this about anybody and stuff like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
so
mean,
like I can see how he could make it emotional.
for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's like, yeah, the lyrics are quite emotional. And then like I like the fact that it's emotional, but then the chorus is like empowering.
Yeah,
at
it's
the
cool to
start.
flip shit like that.
Totally.
Like you might get a dark beat and you're like, I could write about light shit on this. So you get a dark
Yeah.
beat and then you add light. Over
Yeah,
it. It's
exactly.
cool.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, he did like a really nice remix, and I think it's kind of nice to have such like opposing remixes. And then the last one was by my friend. His name's Ronan, and he makes he also makes like really dark music, but he does a lot of like video game kind of vibes and stuff.
I love that stuff.
Yeah, and fully this remix, like it's kind of like Dungeons and Dragons, like Star Wars kind of. It's really cool. Just like the sounds he uses, like really massive basses and everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah, just really like aggressive, you know? Yeah. So it's just like the most contrasting remixes ever, which is so exciting. And
so is there 3?
There's 4, yeah.
4 of them,
Yep. So they'll be out next Friday.
Are you excited about that?
Yeah.
So you've only ever put out 3 songs. Now you're about to just dump 4 new ones.
Yeah.
That's stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
And it's all remixes of the same song?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Super lit.
Yeah, I'm really pumped about it. And then so I'll that'll be on Friday, and then Listen Out will be the next day. So I'll just be like peaking.
Bang, 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 bang. Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be like gross how awesome it'll be. Yeah, and then also on the horizon is another single in about a month, I think, and it's called Bump. And
dope.
yeah, I'm gonna play it at Listen Out.
Yeah.
So
maybe you can play it for us afterwards off your phone or something.
yeah, I totally
I'm
will.
psyched to hear
I'll
it.
send it to you as well.
Dope.
This is like my fave ever. So and this has been in the making for a little bit
Does
too.
it have that same vibe?
Yeah, I think it's a little. It's much more vocally prominent, like a lot more melodic.
Yeah.
And I think it just like bops a little bit more. Like We Can Get It is kind of a bit grindy and down and dirty, but this one's a bit more. It's a little happier, I guess. You know, a little more easy-going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and that's it so far.
Awesome.
And then I'm gonna just like sleep.
Yeah. You probably won't though.
No.
You'll probably be like, how do I make more songs?
Yeah.
Oh, and you'll probably be like, fuck somebody, and then we go somewhere else. If I know anything about you now, talking to you for the last hour.
Oh shit.
So good.
Sick.
Any more
Indoor,
questions?
outdoor.
Indoor, outdoor.
Episode 10.
Episode 10. Thanks you guys for watching this for this long. And have no ads, so I'm just thanking the fans.
Yeah.
We love
thank the
you.
fans.
We love you. Thank you so much, and thank you, King
Thank
Ivy, for coming through.
No,
All
thanks
right.
for having me, guys. It's great.
You. And check you out at Listen Out. Do you want to shout out your SoundCloud?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just literally King Ivy Music
Yeah.
on all platforms.
Instagram, Facebook,
Instagram, King Ivy Music, Facebook, King Ivy Music. But
Apple Music,
Twitter,
Spotify.
yeah,
Twitter.
that one too. Twitter is King Ivy Sounds because
Ivy Sounds.
someone took
Some
my
Motherfucker.
shit.
we don't
Yeah.
like you people out there taking that
There's
one.
someone out there killing my vibe. But that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I can mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
You're versatile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to swim with the tide, not against the tide. Indoor Outdoor
Exactly.
episode 10. Thank you very much. Peace out.
Peace out.
Yeah.